Namaste Javins, myself Javin Dr. Barkha Khurana. Today in physiology we will be talking about digestive system. See if we go for anatomical considerations. This digestive canal is a long muscular tube which consists of following parts, like if we discuss from above downwards, we have the mouth which is guarded by lips and teeth, then tongue, pharynx, esophagus, which is also known as food pipe. We have stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, and anal canal. The ducts of the salivary glands open into the mouth. These salivary glands secrete saliva, which moisten the food and forms a ball of the food that has been chewed with the help of the teeth. Then from here the food comes downwards through the food pipe to the stomach. The proximal end of the stomach is guarded by cardiac sphincter. Sphincter is the opening, and the distal end is the pyloric sphincter. Now from here the small intestine begins after pyloric sphincter and consists of duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. So these three are the subdivisions of the small intestine. Now the food is received in duodenum from the stomach. Here the bile duct and the pancreatic duct jointly open into it through ampulla of Vater. The small intestine is about 6 meters or 20 feet long in humans, and large intestine is about 1.5 meters or 5 feet long. So this great length of the small intestine provides enough time and surface area so that digestion and absorption of foodstuff may be complete. Now the small intestine opens into the next part, which is the large intestine. The opening between the two is called as ileocolic sphincter. In the large intestine, the water is absorbed and fecus or the stool is formed. The large intestine opens into the rectum and anal canal. Now, the functions of the digestive system. First is the ingestion of the food. Second, digestion of food. It commences or starts from the stomach itself. The muscles of stomach, they churn the food and break down the food physically, and that broken down food is known as chyme. Here, the digestion in the stomach is enhanced by the enzyme pepsin. Various digestive juices are secreted. This is also a function. The other function is absorption of water, salts, vitamins, and end products of food that is digested. Next function is excretion of heavy metals, toxins, etc. There are certain movements which are present in the whole of the GIT, that is gastrointestinal tract. And these movements help in mixture of the food with digestive juices, propel downwards of the food. Next function is that it helps in regulation of the blood sugar. It helps in maintaining the water balance. Now we'll talk about salivary glands. There are three pairs of salivary glands: parotid, submaxillary, maxillary, and sublingual. And each of these glands is present on one side, on each side, and opens into the oral cavity. These salivary glands secrete saliva and help in making the food moist, which is easily chewable. So, the secretion of the glands is conveyed through various salivary ducts, and these ducts also modify the composition of the saliva. There are three different ducts: excretory, striated, and intercalated ducts. Then next is stomach. The stomach is generally like the alphabet J, or we can say it is a steer horn shaped. It is divided into three parts, fundic body and the pylorus, fundic or the fundus we can say. The fundus covers the largest area of the stomach, accounting for 60 to 80% of total mucosa. Then we'll discuss about the functions of the stomach. See, first is that it receives the food material and acts as a reservoir of food. Secondly, the movements of stomach help in proper mixing of food with the gastric juices. Third is the ingested solid food is gradually broken down by forceful muscle contractions in the lower end of stomach. Apart from that, it secretes gastric juices, mainly HCl and pepsin. These are the digestive fluids. And with the help of these gastric juices, they digest it. The stomach helps in digesting the protein up to peptone stage. Stomach also helps in the absorption of small quantities of water, alcohol, glucose, and certain drugs. Stomach also excrete certain toxins, certain alkaloids like morphine, and stomach also manufactures two chemical substances which act as stimulants. First is gastrin. This is manufactured by pyloric mucous membrane and is a true peptide hormone. It acts as a stimulant for gastric secretion. This is responsible for the second phase of gastric secretion. Then we have now this gastrin acts as a stimulant for gastric secretion, and it is also responsible for second phase of gastric secretion. The second one is Castle's intrinsic factor, which is gastric juice as well as gastric mucous membrane contains an intrinsic factor. This extrinsic factor is vitamin B12 taken along with food, and the intrinsic factor interacts with it and helps in its absorption. The intrinsic factor is an enzyme like unidentified substance secreted by stomach, and it is present in gastric juice as well as in the gastric mucous membrane. Here the optimal pH is 7 and it is inactivated at temperature above 45 degrees. So this is all for this session in digestive system. We will be continuing it in later sessions. I hope you understood this session well, and if you have any doubts you can post a comment. And this session is powered by Digital 2.0 version of Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women University. Thank you.